Man, Street Fighter 2. I picked this game as kind of a milestone, the 10th video that I'm doing on Super Nintendo games. So why not? Let me get a good one. Let me, filter out the crap like Bart's Nightmare. Eventually I'll get to it, but all right. So I didn't script anything. I thought, man, this is the only way to go. This is such a great game that I just enjoy watching it. I enjoy just kind of just gameplay going on. I feel like I want to play it, but just watching it is soothing for whatever reason. So I remember when this first came out in arcades, I was fascinated by the large characters, one-on-one fighting. I was into, karate, kung fu movies. But I was a kid, so my parents wouldn't really let me watch them. So this kind of hit close to home. Of course, I had no idea how to play it, and the only times that I could in the arcade was when like if I had like school holidays and my mom would take me to the arcade in the morning, and there'd be no one on the Street Fighter machines, so I'd be able to play it. And I did get the chance to get a little, to learn a little bit of the ropes. I didn't know how to do Hadoukens or anything, but I learned how to, jump at the right time, what kind of punch I should use, and so forth. And I remember I got stuck on Vega, and I never beat him until I finally got Street Fighter 2 on the Super Nintendo and managed to figure out how to beat him. It was actually a friend of mine showed me how to beat him with Ryu. And then I figured out other strategies finally, but it was great. I mean, you had so many characters. And back then, 8 characters was like, wow, like how many games do you know that you can play as 8 different characters if you want? Yeah, back then, that was just non-existent. So, of course, I tried a little bit of everything, the terrible, to this day, I still can't play as Dhalsim, is too slow, Zangief. I hate that stupid, giant, easy to hit body of his. Honda's alright, Chun-Li's awesome, Ryu and Ken are excellent, they're my go-to characters immediately. Guile and Blanca are hit and miss. Sometimes I like Blanca, sometimes I hate the fact that the only special move you can use is the cannonball because I hate mashing buttons. As for Guile, he's too much of a defensive player with the flash kick and the sonic boom. It's too much hold back or hold down, hold back, hold down. I'm not a fan of those special moves. What I am a fan of, however, is the fact that you have these secret bosses. I mean, once you finally beat the other 7 characters, you get all surprised. You have Balrog, Vega, Sagat, and Bison. And that fascinated me, and I thought, oh my god, like this secret boxer guy who I managed to beat at age 9. And to this day, I wonder if the machine was on easy or medium. I don't know. Then I got to Vega, and he might be the 2nd or 3rd hardest boss I ever faced in a fighting game, behind Motaro and maybe Kentaro. But maybe he's on par with Kentaro. I don't know. Even though I did have strategies to beat him, I just turned on the game and I forgot how to beat him basically. And I got my ass handed to me like with each character. I tried with everyone. Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Guile. I even brought out Zangief because once, I don't know how, I managed to beat him with a spinning lariat. But it was super turbo and I could move back and forth, so I had more control over it. You'll see here, like I actually managed to hit him once here. But in Super Turbo on the difficulty 4, I managed to beat him once in a lifetime, I guess. This is where I finally kicked his ass as Guile. And of course, this is one of the greatest ports ever, arcade to Super Nintendo. This is probably one of the most faithful ports ever. You can kind of tell that graphically something is off. It might not be necessarily the greatest graphical port. And then back then I showed you how to avoid Vega's like when he jumps on the fence and he jumps onto you to throw you. Like get as far away as possible, and then jump away, and you might even be able to hit him with a kick. It's a really cool strategy that I remembered. And then Gao just sucks ass for Sagat. Like if you do a flash kick and it doesn't connect, he'll just tiger uppercut your balls, and it sucks. Yeah, so I just went Ryu, and because that's my go-to character. I could go on and on and on about this game. There's so much history, you know. Like in my life, the Street Fighter 2 has a lot of history. Basically, this is the game that made, you know how Doom made PC gaming serious once and for all. Street Fighter 2 made arcade games. Maybe I don't want to say like, oh, this is the one that made arcade games be what they are. No, arcades had been established, you know, due to many great titles throughout the early 80s and mid 80s. But Street Fighter 2 brought some sort of credibility. Like this was clearly not just a kid's game. It became very competitive. Other games were too. But I mean, you could face off in tournaments, you know, like let's see how long this guy lasts before somebody manages to plunk in a quarter and kill him. And yeah, then here for whatever reason I just got stuck on Bison. I don't know what the hell happened. I just forgot how to beat the bosses. I never had trouble with Bison, but for whatever reason. Oh no, I remember what I was doing. I always beat the game with Ryu. So I tried to change that. I was like, no, I haven't beaten the game with other characters in so many years. Let me try with anyone. Anyone except Ryu. Even Ken is valid, but I don't know why. It's like destiny forces me to only beat Bison with Ryu. Like I tried with every character, so I finally said screw it. Yeah, so again, this is just huge nostalgia factor for me. And Street Fighter 2 is the game that truly captured me and said, come here, come this way, go the video game way, you know? And I think Chun-Li was actually my first video game crush. I remember somebody in the arcade beat the game and as Chun-Li, and then I saw her ending, and then I saw her without the weird Mickey Mouse, you know, Princess Leia, Mickey Mouse, whatever, buns. With flowing hair, you know, anime manga style, and I was like, oh shit, she's actually beautiful. So that kind of struck a chord with me. I was like 9 or something. So yeah, that's Street Fighter 2. One of the finest games on the Super Nintendo. People say Street Fighter 2 Turbo is better. I guess. But there's just something really magical about this game. I think it's the first port to the Super Nintendo that people just took really seriously and said, wow, because I can't think of any other titles that has such a great, that's so faithful to the original arcade game. All right, I've ranted enough. So like the video, subscribe, notifications on, because I'm going to do plenty of videos, and let me know what you guys want to see next. I've been thinking of doing Mortal Kombat for the 20th. I figured for the 10, 20, 30, 40 videos, I'm going to be doing something special and close to heart. All right. See ya. Hadouken. Or some such.